Something lives in your house. Not an animal. Not a sound from the walls settling at night. Something older than the house itself. Something that followed your family here from the last house and the one before that. It watches while you sleep. It knows when something bad is coming. And if you have never left out a small bowl of bread and salt before bed, it may already be angry with you. In the old Slavic villages, no home was ever truly empty. Every house, every hut, every family dwelling had a guardian spirit living within its walls. He was called the Domovoi, from the Slavic word dom, meaning home. He was not large or fearsome. Most descriptions paint him as small, roughly the height of a child, covered entirely in thick gray or brown hair, sometimes resembling a miniature version of the family's grandfather or oldest male ancestor. His eyes, when seen, were said to glow faintly in the dark, like two distant embers. He lived behind the stove, or beneath the threshold of the front door, or sometimes under the floorboards in the darkest corner of the house. He rarely showed himself. Most families spent their entire lives in a house with a Domovoi and never once saw him clearly, only felt him. A cold hand brushing your face in the night. A whispered sound with no source. The feeling, upon waking at 3 in the morning, that something in the room had just stopped moving. Unlike Baba Yaga or Rusalka, the Domovoi was not something to be feared outright, not if you treated him well. He protected the family. He watched over the children while they slept. He warned of illness or misfortune by sitting on the chest of a sleeping family member and pressing down, hard, until they woke. If you woke in the night, unable to breathe, feeling crushed by an invisible weight, you were not having a nightmare. The Domovoi was trying to tell you something. There is a story told across Poland, Russia, and the Czech lands of a farmer named Aleksy and his wife Marta who made a terrible mistake when they moved to a new house. They had lived for 20 years in their old family home, a small wooden house at the edge of the village, inherited from Marta's parents. The house was warm, the animals were healthy, and despite hard seasons, the family always had enough. They did not think much about why. When Aleksy was offered a larger farm on the other side of the village, he accepted without hesitation. On moving day, the family packed everything they owned, furniture, linens, tools, animals, and left for the new house before dawn. They forgot one thing. In the old stories, when a Slavic family moved to a new home, there was a ritual to be performed on the final night in the old house. You would leave out bread, salt, and a small candle near the stove. Then you would speak, quietly, into the corner of the room where the Domovoi was believed to live, and you would invite him to follow the family to the new home. To come with you, to protect you still, to know that he was wanted. Aleksy and Marta did not do this. They simply left. The trouble began within weeks. The animals at the new farm grew restless. The cows stopped giving milk. The horses refused to enter the barn after dark. Strange sounds moved through the walls of the new house at night, not settling wood or wind, but something deliberate, frustrated, circling. Marta began to wake in the night, gasping, a crushing weight on her chest. Not the gentle warning press the old stories described, but something heavier, almost angry. The couple's oldest daughter, who had grown up in the old house and understood the old ways better than her parents, recognized what was happening. Their Domovoi had not followed them. They had abandoned him. And the new house, larger, newer, no family history in its walls, had no Domovoi of its own to protect them. The crushing weight at night was not their spirit, trying to warn them. It was something else entirely, something that had already been in the new house when they arrived, something that was not pleased to share its space. On the daughter's instruction, the family returned to the old house on 3 consecutive nights, leaving bread and salt near the cold stove, speaking to the empty corner, asking the Domovoi to forgive the oversight and follow them home. On the 3rd night, Marta swore she heard, faintly, from the darkest corner of the old room, a sound like a very old man exhaling slowly. The trouble at the new farm stopped. The animals calmed. The sounds in the walls went quiet. Aleksy never moved house again without performing the ritual first. The Domovoi is perhaps the most intimate of all Slavic spirits because, unlike Baba Yaga in her forest or Rusalka in the river, He lives inside the boundaries of daily life itself. He is not a warning about the dangers of the wild. He is a reminder that even the most familiar, safe, ordinary space, your own home, has a history, a presence, and a set of unspoken rules. Many scholars see the Domovoi as a reflection of ancestor worship embedded into daily life. He often resembles the family's grandfather or patriarch. Caring for him, leaving food, speaking to him respectfully, including him in the ritual of moving, is functionally the same as caring for the memory of those who came before you. Others see him as a personification of the house itself, the idea that a home is not just walls and a roof, but a living thing shaped by the people who have lived inside it, capable of warmth or hostility, depending on how it is treated. In nearly every version of the Domovoi legend, neglect is the greatest danger. He does not punish cruelty or greed the way Baba Yaga does. He punishes forgetting. He punishes the family that stops paying attention to the small, quiet, invisible things that hold a home together. Even now, in parts of rural Russia, Poland, and Slovakia, some families still leave a small piece of bread near the stove before bed. Some still speak quietly into the corners of a new house before unpacking their things, just in case. Because somewhere in the walls of every old home, the stories say, something is listening. Something small. Something covered in gray hair. Something with eyes like distant embers, watching the family sleep, pressing a cold hand to your chest in the dark if it needs you to wake up and pay attention. The next time you hear something move in your house at night and there is nothing there, leave out some bread and salt, just to be safe. Subscribe for more Slavic folklore. Next folklore, Leshy, the spirit of the forest.